All right, what's up, guys? It is me, Insanity, for Echo Asylum here, and I have the honor and pleasure, and my daughter Autumn too, of interviewing Josh from Full Devil Jacket. How's it going today, brother, man?
Fantastic, man. Fantastic.
Yeah, man. So you guys are back at it, man. You guys are on tour. You guys have started the tour and kicking it on your bus here. So tell me about the rebirth of Full Devil Jacket, and kind of tell listeners and fans what happened to you guys back about 10, 15 years ago. What you guys kind of disappeared on us.
Yeah, you know, 15 years ago, man. It was the beginning of Full Devil Jacket on the national level, you know, and there's a lot of money thrown around, a lot of fame, a lot of just craziness at a young age. You know, I was 22 years old, and you know, I wasn't ready for all that, and I kind of had a spiritual awakening and stepped out of the music business for a few years and stopped making music. And you know, later on, as I worked on my life and myself and my family and all that, I began to you know, step back into music and pursue other projects, and eventually came back around to Full Devil Jacket, you know.
Now, did you guys disband as a whole? Was it just like a mutual thing where you guys said, well, you know, it's just not working out, it's not where we want it to be right now,
Well,
and just step away?
I kind of just freaked out, you know, and stepped away because you know, I've been battling drug addiction pretty hardcore, and not even battling it. I was just consumed with drug addiction, and you know, I OD'd on the road in Orlando, Florida, in that time period, and you know, that overdosing on drugs kind of got me to the place where I wanted to search for life and meaning and who I am and why I do the things I do, and that's what kind of got me on that spiritual journey, man. So but after that, you know, music is just, I can't get away from it. It's what I guess it's what I'm supposed to do right now.
It's a good addiction too. Music is definitely a good addiction, good way to get an outlet for everything you're feeling, or you know, a great alternative to, you know, drugs and stuff like that. Right?
No doubt, because it is a high, you know, and drugs are just a synthetic high for, you know, doing what you were created to do. When you do what you're created to do, when you're at the right place, the right time in the universe, and you get to experience that, and you know that, and things line up, then you know where you're supposed to be. And it's like, those are the things that get us excited and give us life and give us that adrenaline rush. And that's really what it's about. Yeah,
and give you a reason to wake up in the morning too.
Right.
Exactly.
You realize you're a small piece of a much bigger puzzle.
Yeah, man.
And that's beautiful.
It is, man. That's very deep too. A lot of people don't really have that way of thinking. It's pretty cool to hear somebody with kind of like-mindedness. But now after you know, the disbandment or whatever, you know, Full Devil Jack 15 years ago, did everybody? I know you went on with Day of Fire for a while. Did the other original band members go on to do other projects as well, like in other bands?
Oh yeah. You know, the band kind of tried or continued without me for a few projects, not as Full Devil Jacket, but as another name. And you know, soon after that, our original guitar player, Mike Reeves, not soon after that, probably 5 or 6 years after that. When did Mike come down with? We realized he was battling cancer.
2012.
Yeah.
And he made it through 13.
Yeah, so 2012, Mike Reeves, our original guitar player, one of the greatest dudes that any of us have met. And, you know, some people say that about people because they've passed. Mike Reeves was a really good, creative genius, I think. And anyway, he was battling cancer. Full Devil Jacket got back together to do a benefit for him. That's when everybody got back in the same room. It'd been years since everyone had talked to each other, and that was the first time we realized we could bury the hatchet and move forward with music. Now, it wasn't to do a new record, but it was just to move forward for Mike, and it turned into the desire to do a new record.
Very cool. Yes. So, I mean, I'm sorry to hear about that. And I heard earlier that he passed away. I'm sorry. Was that like losing a? I mean, for you, was that like losing a brother? I mean, was that really hard for you to?
That was the first real good friend that I lost You know what I'm saying? Somebody that I grew up
Yeah.
with, somebody that meant a lot in my life, and it showed me how short time is, man. It really is short, and our time in this world is short.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like it made me value my friendships much more. The person that I am today, and I'm not going to say that it's only this reason, but it was a reason that made me begin to realize more of my responsibility as a friend. And I'm not the best friend to anybody in the world. I try to be a friend, but you know, the way my tendencies, my addictive tendencies can pull me away from that, but I try to be a better person today. I'm much better than I was 2 years ago.
That's awesome, man. So let me ask you, because you were talking about the addiction, how long have you actually been clean for? I mean, you've been clean for a while?
Yeah, no, not really. You know, I fell back into drug addiction, right after separation with my ex, you know, and I ended a 12-year relationship, and I kind of just, you know, a guy with an addictive personality like me is always looking for a reason to jump off into the deep end of something.
Yeah.
Just jump into the deep end, and you know, I chose to step back into drugs, and I did. I fell back into it pretty hardcore, and you know, it's only recently that I've stepped away from that hardcore addiction again, man. But
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, man. You know, it's a battle. It's always going to be a battle, and the way that I fight it is I keep telling people around me about my addiction. I keep good people around me. These people that are around me right here, and everyone on this RV knows me, and you know, I'm with them face to face with them every day.
Yeah.
And
good and bad, through good and bad, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. There's nowhere to hide out here, man.
Yeah, and I've heard you guys have had some issues like before this tour. I mean, it just started, but I heard that you guys have already encountered some bad luck on the road with this tour, kind of.
No, man, it's rough. It's a little rough. Like we're just getting started. I mean, I wouldn't say bad luck. It's the road. I mean, that's what the road is.
I've heard some pretty interesting stories, like everything from, you know, some band, who is it? 3 Years Holiday said they had like four. They buy these RVs. They have four of them, and they said one of them actually caught fire. And I'm like, holy crap, that's
well, man,
that's pretty crazy.
This one's protected.
That's
this
good.
one right here is just rolling down the road.
There you go, man.
With the
it's good to go.
Yeah, we're good, man. We're good. We're on a mission from God.
I like that big screen TV too, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
You guys kick back and watch Netflix or something?
Yeah, man. Well, we
We got
watch
Apple TV going.
Apple TV, man. Hey, all hoity-toity up in here, man. They're all
this
classy.
guy right here, and our drummer, and Tony did some work on it too. They redesigned this thing, so we couldn't even be on the road were it not for their work on this RV.
Well, very, very cool. So tell us, let me dive into the album here, because you know the first album you guys did in 2000, I believe, the full length. I know you guys had an EP and a full length.
Right.
Were you guys trying to kind of mirror, not really mirror, but make the sound, or does Full Devil Jacket kind of have a different meaning for you guys now since all it's happened?
It does. I'm gonna grab a water.
There you go, man.
It does have a different meaning to me now, for sure, and I'm sure to everyone else. Where's you have any more water?
Check outside.
Thank you. It does have a different meaning. We revisited a couple tracks. I mean, we revisited the record, and we kind of built off some of the riff ideas from the first record. But with Mike passing and the lineup changes in the band, we didn't try to pretend like we are who we were, because we feel like who we are today is much more interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Much more interesting, and there's much more understanding. And it really, this album is the follow up to that record, but it's 15 years wiser, 15 years better songwriters, 15 years more dedicated.
Yeah, so I don't know, as a person too, you mature a lot, so I'm guessing that might come out the matureness, maybe the maybe more technical aspect, and the lyrically, you could think that in 15 years you've been through a lot of shit, right. So you would be like get deeper into lyrics, and the content would be more something you could get out of it.
Totally, man, and even it's even rawer, because you value like emotionally it's rawer, because that's you realize that some things cannot be captured with technique, or sometimes the technique is capturing the rawness.
Yeah.
So realizing the importance of danger in rock and roll music, realizing the importance of presenting ideas that may have not ever been presented in rock and roll. That's what I like. You know, I like ideas and concepts, and I like presenting them in a way that people understand, and that's at a soul level. Like, and you got to dig from the soul to be able to reach people at the soul level, and that's what I learned in 15 years. That there's no point in writing good songs about stuff just because. You got to write stuff from your heart.
Yeah, you don't want to just write stuff just to sell albums and make the masses happy. You got to write what's true to yourself.
When you write songs to sell albums nowadays, it's not selling albums.
And you turn into that band.
Yeah,
name the band there.
That band you used to like.
Yeah, that band that totally changed your sound.
Yeah, those guys that but and I don't hack on anybody, because you know what, I'd love to sell enough records from a certain kind of song.
Yeah.
To think about cloning those songs, but. We haven't, but even more than that, it's pushing the envelope of ideas that is important to me.
Yeah. So, what do you think about in the music? The current landscape of the music industry as it pertains to rock and metal. What do you think about some of these bands maybe hopping over to more of a? I've seen some bands do kind of the sex sells things, and you can just tell that like the content isn't as full and diverse as it was. It's just like
if it's legit, whether I agree with the message or not, I'm into it. Like meaning I'm looking for that soul in the music, and like if somebody's a party animal and they're singing about sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and I believe them, I can get into it. Whether I agree with it or not, I can get into it. I know this band in Memphis that they're like pretty awesome. They're called a Chaos Order, and I would say they believe exactly opposite of what I believe in their music, but they present it in a way they believe it. They believe what they're singing about. I can support that, and when it comes through in the music, it hits me right here.
Well, there you go.
And that's what I'm looking for. So, man, I can't judge the music industry, but I can tell you that being genuine is always a commodity that the industry is looking for.
So, do you think that from your viewpoint, do you think that rock and metal is like on the upswing? Because there's a lot of people that I see that maybe it's on the decline, and for some reason in acceptable society, I guess what they say, pop and country stuff like that is so widely acclaimed, then it seems like people kind of shun the rock and metal. Do you think it's going to make a comeback, or what do you think about that?
It is making a comeback, just not on active rock radio. It's making a comeback. I mean, I had that same attitude, and you can get that same attitude by sometimes when you turn on a radio station. You hear a band that's a copy of a band that's a copy of another of the same band. You hear like a Tool copy band that's a copy of the fourth copy of Tool. Is that making any sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got these guys singing these same kind of words that Tool would sing without. They don't even know really what the words mean. They're just singing words that sound right.
Yeah.
I'm not down with that, but at the same time, there's this undercurrent of these kids and this hardcore metal. And this, you take the indie style rock, even though, the White Stripes and Black Keys aren't indie. They came from an indie place. There's places where true rock and roll and the spirit of revolt and people are singing about real things, and those places are flourishing. You know what I'm saying? The Rival Sons and like there's some real interesting, great music that is developing. On its own.
You have to go out and find it. You sometimes you have to go out and find it.
Yeah. I memean, well, either that or you have to just be constantly one of those guys on the search for new music, and you just can't. You got to go beyond radio sometimes.
Yeah.
I appreciate radio. I said everything I say about radio, but they're doing great for us. They're putting us out there, and they're I think they may recognize the genuine part of the music.
Gotcha. Let me ask you this. I don't know how many people actually know this, but when I actually covered Red and 3 Years Hollow on their tour, I heard somewhere that you guys were actually slated to be on that tour, and you guys ended up on this tour. Was there something behind that, or was it something where you guys were scheduled for something, but then you saw something that maybe might have been a better opportunity for you? Or?
Well, the venues they were playing didn't really make sense. I mean, I was on label with Red. They're on the label that I was on with Day of Fire, the original label.
Gotcha.
And they're a great band, freaking great performers, great writers. But some of the venues they were playing would not make sense for a band named Full Devil Jacket to play, like Liberty College, Liberty University.
Yeah.
Does not make sense. It's a Christian college. And you know, when I was excited to hear that I could go on tour with Red, but when I realized the venues, I was like, I was telling my guys, they've never seen that part of the industry, and I'm like, dude, we can't be playing. The Devil went down to Georgia, and the Devil's in the house.
Yeah.
When we play Liberty University, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So it just happened to be, it was a great idea in the beginning, a bad idea when you actually saw it on paper. It wasn't going to work. Plus another label, and you know, with a name like Full Devil Jacket, with good reason, there is some doors that are going to be slammed shut, and I understand. I've been living with it my whole life, and that's okay. Those are the doors I don't walk through.
There you go. You just gotta look at the now and the future and go for it, and don't live in the past. You mean?
Yeah, exactly. And realize that it really does all work out for a reason. It may not be glorious and it may not be as easy as you thought it was, but things do work out.
Well, it's the music industry, so if it was easy, then everybody would be doing it, right?
No doubt. No doubt. Right?
Yeah, the music business is a tough mother, man. I tell you,
it is. It's
really crazy.
It's a merciless master.
But we wouldn't have it any other way because it's good to us for the most part, except when it's not.
Yeah, right. And you know, man, it's not all the industry's fault. You know, the industry's been good to me, man. I mean, you know, it really has. There's been a lot of people that have stuck their neck out on the line for me, and I appreciate that. You know, and but you're dealing with a bunch of opposing personalities and opposing ways of life. It's just the way it is, man. You know, but the music industry is a microcosm of the world at large. You know, it is what it is.
So I got a couple more questions for you. First question, do you guys have any plans after the album releases? Do you have any plans to put in for these bigger festivals? Like, do you guys want to be Rock on the Range, or do you guys see yourself playing those?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
I'll be disappointed if we're not.
I would be too.
Yeah. We kind of got in late this year. You know, the record came out.
Comes out the 31st.
Right, it came out. It's coming out March 31st, and we just went to radio. So we realized we got in there late, but we got a good booking agent. We got a great label, and we're a great booking agent.
Any chance for like Shockwave or Mayhem Fest for you guys, anything like that?
How far away are those?
I don't know when Shockwave is. I think Mayhem Fest is about to gear up. I think it's probably like in the later, like June, July.
Possibly. I mean, all the slots are filled, but depending on how you do it, radio.
Pull some strings, man.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Hook that shit up.
Tell me where those strings are, man. I'll pull them.
If I knew, I'd tell you right away, man. And the last question is, I heard some inside information about you guys hanging out. Tell me about that gas station at about 3 a.m. and you pulling out the acoustic guitar and just cheering up that lady. Tell us about that.
That was awesome, dude. We did that last night, man. I had said that we were going to play Love's truck stops and gas stations at 3 a.m. I mean, I love doing that.
That's awesome.
But last night we went into a gas station. There was this 19-year-old girl who just found out she was pregnant, and she was freaking out. Paul, my guitar player, talked to her, and he told me what was happening. So I went in there and played a song for her. I loved it. I got way more out of it than probably she did.
That's awesome.
Because I loved it. I enjoyed it. And that's sometimes you get to. It's one of the times where you're in the right place at the right time, and music can have an effect on somebody and positively charge the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
Music's actually changed, saved my life, I think. Many bands have inspired me and actually changed who I am as a person, made me a better person. So.
I feel you, brother. I mean, that's what it's about.
So is that something that's impromptu? Like, I mean, did you just saw the need? I mean, let me ask you this. What song did you play?
I played a song you never heard called Troubled Times.
Troubled Times. Is that your guys' song?
My song.
Your song?
Yeah.
Very cool. And it
could be a Full Devil Jacket song, but I mean, who knows? Who knows, man?
Maybe you could break out the acoustic guitar like on set or something, on stage sometime.
We'll do when we get when we're headlining for sure, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
But yeah, I mean, we play just as much acoustic music as we do heavy music.
Very cool, man.
we haven't really recorded that stuff yet.
That's awesome, just to cheer up just to brighten up somebody's day, and just to do that, just like I'm sure you made her night, because that shows a lot of care and a lot of I mean, just to think about her is enough to. I mean, it's just a song, but maybe to her, maybe that was maybe that can change her life. You never know. Maybe she was on the verge of being at the end or something, and then maybe
she was upset.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's cool about it, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
Connecting with people when you don't expect it.
Connecting, and that's when you can see things on a cosmic level.
There you go. And that's when you don't need the drugs. That's what you need, man. You need more of that interaction, not the drugs.
I agree, 100%. So, and, you surround yourself with good people, good stuff happens.
That's right, man. Positive breeds positive, and
that's right.
On the vice versa, negative. I do believe that people are a creature of their habitat. I really believe that.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it, man. And we, when I've been in a negative state in my life, it's because of the path and the habitat that I've created. I mean, and we create our own habitat.
Yeah.
It took me 38 years to learn that, and this year is my year of destroying vampires from my life.
There you go, man.
The more vampires I destroy, the more I move in my creativity, the more I don't worry about trying to follow what everybody else is doing or care what everybody else thinks. The more I flow in what I was made to do, better my life. That
could be a song right there.
It is a song.
Destroy my vampires.
Yeah, dude.
There you go, man. We just wrote a song, brother. See what I'm saying? We're connected, man. There you go.
That's right. I like it.
So tell everybody where they can find Full Devil Jacket at. Where can they find your awesome band?
Man, you check it out on Facebook. We got a Full Devil Jacket Twitter. If you want to check out any of my art, you can check it out on joshbrownart.com. And the new record, we put a couple new songs on it, some new mixes. We changed out the cover art, put my art on the cover.
Very cool.
And we're launching it, man. We're excited.
And what's the name of the new album?
Valley of Bones.
Valley of Bones. Okay, that's coming out on the 31st of March.
That's right. And you can check out our video on Vivo, and a lot of good things are happening.
Yeah, man, and definitely look forward to it tonight, man. You're a really cool guy, and you write from the heart. That's hard to find sometimes these days, but appreciate the time, brother.
Man, my pleasure, my friend.
And this has been Insanity here with Josh from Full Devil Jacket. Until next time, rockers.